got bubbles. You got bubbles. I like your hat. Crafts, beads, moms, kids. Bubble maker.
Yes, y'all keep it going for Sister Serena Severe with the Weird City Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. I'm sure we're going to see them a little later, but before we end up wrapping up this event, y'all want to hear from one more book? Let's read one more book. We already talked about how this entertainer likes math. Do you like math? I know we established that you don't like sharks. Do you like math? Yeah, what's your favorite subject? Art? You like art? What kind of art? What do you like to do? All of it? You like painting, drawing, sculpture, clay? Stuff like that. I used to teach summer art camps. Yes, I was a summer art camp teacher one time. Can you tell? Okay, well, we're gonna learn about math right now. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? Is that okay? Okay. Y'all want to hear some math? Let's get into some math lesson. All the way from Canada's Drag Race, also TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. Okay, she teaches math on all of her platforms, okay? So y'all go give her a follow and make some noise. This is Kine. Look how cute you look. Y'all make some noise for this dress. Go on, do a twirl. Do a twirl. Okay, oh my gosh. You look magnificent. Yeah.
Sure, thank you. Hi everyone, how are we doing? Okay, so this is my first time doing a reading of this book. This is actually a book that I wrote myself. I started writing this a couple years ago, and I think unlike some of the other books that you guys have heard today, this is not a fictional story. It's actually my own story of how I came to love math, and it's also got some math lessons. So I intended to write this for an audience maybe of like some high schoolers, maybe for some of your parents, but I'm hoping that you guys can follow along a little bit. This is math in drag. Yeah. Math is like a drag queen. Marvelous, whimsical, at times even controversial, but never boring. On the surface, it may seem confusing or even scary, but when the stage lights turn on, it transforms into an enigma shrouded in wonder and beauty. It's full of twists and turns, reveals and riddles, smoke and mirrors, but encased within it are deep truths about our universe. Math has long been misunderstood, and while technically being accessible to everyone, only a few have seen it up close in all its grandeur. But now's your chance. Step on up because this book is your ticket to the show. The small fee you pay to get your hands on it entitles you to VIP access. Or I guess in your guys' case, I'm reading this to you for free. Just a couple pages. I will be your hostess, MC, and tour guide as we journey through the magical realm of mathematics. My name is Kine, and I'm just your ordinary drag queen who's liked math ever since she was a little boy. My dad was an engineer who practiced my times tables with me and encouraged me to be at the top of my class, so I, like him, could experience the joys of optimal engineering. At one point, I wanted to become a scientist, and then a priest, and then an astronomer. I felt like I was capable of being anything, except gay. In the Philippines, where I was born, the word for gay is bakla. But more than simply meaning gay, it also means a boy who acts like a girl. And honey, was I a big buckala growing up. When I got my first Game Boy, fighting and racing games were of zero interest to me. All I wanted was the Disney Princess game where I could play as Aurora and Ariel. But eventually, I reached an age where all that stopped being cute and started being weird. Soon after moving to Canada, one of my classmates shared that when he told his mom about the boy at school who acted like a girl, she warned him to stay away from me. You know how kids have this innocent voice and even when they're saying something completely chaotic, it manages to sound playful? That's how he said it. It was the first time I remember thinking there was something wrong with me. I was 7 years old. Within a few years, people started asking me outright if I were gay. I didn't even know what that word meant. I was too young to feel attracted to anyone. But once I found out that being a girly boy was somehow scandalous, I tested the waters with my parents by asking them how they might react if I happened to be gay. They told me that being gay wasn't what God wanted for me and that I'd be better off if I weren't. So I denied it for years and tried to hide any outward signs, but that didn't stop the bullying. Despite my best efforts, my parents saw right through me, and when I was 14 years old, they sat me down and asked me to come out of the closet. Honey, the jig was up for this bakla. I was completely horrified, but with that moment of horror came a sigh of relief. My parents had freed me from the heavy burden I had been carrying on my shoulders. Our conversation went on for hours, and they asked me questions like, how long have you known? And why didn't you tell us sooner? The truth was that as a child, I felt like my parents were suppressing my true bakla self, and it hurt. My dad in particular would try to stop me from wearing bright colors or walking around with a limp wrist. They wanted to protect me from bullies, but I was stronger than they gave me credit for. All I ever wanted was their support. So once they knew the truth, I didn't really care about what anyone else thought of me. I started watching makeup tutorials online and teaching myself how to apply foundation and eyeshadow. I Googled questions like, is it okay for boys to wear makeup? And discovered other boys like me on YouTube who wanted to play with cosmetics. Makeup was my creative outlet for self-expression, the superhero costume that gave me the confidence to walk with my chin up. At school dances, I wore leather pants and a pair of high heels I borrowed from a friend. I even glued rhinestones to my face when the glitter and false lashes were not providing enough drama for me. I was totally comfortable being gawked at by everyone and fitting in with no one. I made my face a canvas for art, and the school hallways were my runway. Not everyone was a fan of my antics, but by then the bullies were in my rearview mirror. I had realized that I was an undiscovered supermodel, and everyone else just hadn't caught on yet. After feeling like an outcast and an underdog for so many years, I resolved to ace every course. I wanted to be fierce in the classroom too. I had no shame in being what the kids would call a try-hard. My newfound confidence led me to a circle of friends just as studious and ambitious as I was, and we encouraged each other to get A's on every exam and assignment. I wanted to prove to myself that I could still excel in school despite being out, flouncy, and flamboyant. My favorite class by far was math. While it was much less theatrical, I found the quiet solitude of algorithmically solving equations quite satisfying. I liked how I could ace the tests and assignments by simply getting all the questions right, unlike in English class where my teacher could deduct marks for what I felt were subjective opinions. I wasn't sure what all those equations and theorems were for, and I didn't know how my dad used them in his job, but I knew I was good at it, and that made it happy. My teachers pulled me aside and told me about math competitions I could enter to challenge myself further. And it was these contests that really kindled my love affair with mathematics. They were definitely harder than the tests I took during class, and they required more creative thinking. I discovered that math required artistry, and I began to see it not just as a subject in school, but as a fixture of nature, a real mystery to be solved. Once I recognized the same element of creativity in math that was so compelling to me in my adventures with makeup, there was no holding me back. In a competition during my junior year, I earned one of the top 3 scores in the world, and as a result was invited to attend a week-long math camp at the University of Waterloo. Rest assured, I was the most glamorous mathy there. That week introduced me to the world of higher level math, the kind that wasn't all about numbers and rules and getting the right answer, but about patterns, proofs, and innovative thinking. Instead of memorizing formulas or performing functions like a calculator, I had to push the limits of my imagination. It was as challenging as it was rewarding. That was when I decided I wanted to pursue a math degree. I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do with a math degree, but everybody told me that it would help me land a good job. And the proof of this came quickly. By my second year of university, my friends were building apps, starting their own businesses, and interning for big banks. I was ready to begin building a professional path as well, so I became a drag queen. I wrote this book to introduce you to this mathematical multiverse. Instead of making you memorize formulas or perform calculations, I'll tell you the formula's backstories and how they're used in the world around us. This is absolutely not a textbook, but rather a simple drag queen's guide to the world of math. You don't need to be a mathematician to read this book, just as you don't need a 5-octave vocal range to listen to Mariah Carey, and you don't need to be a queen to have fun at a drag show. All you need is an imagination and a generous dash of curiosity. I wish I could read this whole thing for you guys, but in the sense of time, I'm gonna skip right to the end, one of my favorite parts. Math is drag. It is carefully calculated self-invention and relies on courage and an open mind. To study it is to suspend your disbelief and accept a reality that's been curated with style, stamina, and wit. To perform it is to pursue beauty, and to innovate within it is to embrace creativity. Contrary to popular belief, the goal of math isn't to get the right answer, but rather to create a framework for understanding reality through patterns, abstractions, and metaphors. Drag does the same thing, but instead of lines and logic, we use glitter and glue. Both arts beckon you to break from the status quo and create an entirely new system with new numbers, new geometries, and new rules. Math and drag alike are rooted in history and are at the same time futuristic. Fans and adepts of both must overcome intimidation to find enchantment. Of course, math and drag are not entirely congruent. These days, math is typically appreciated as advantageous and useful, a benign or at least useful force, while drag and many forms of gender nonconformity are highly controversial. I still have this dream that leading with love is enough, and that using drag to cultivate an enthusiasm for math can open minds to the reality that queer people are more than just a collection of stereotypes. I sometimes wonder, though, whether the powers of music, love, and visibility are enough to overcome our differences, with the climate around drag and trans people growing more hostile by the day. Can you change the world by changing your wig? As crucially, if we are going to democratize math, we need to overhaul the way we teach it. We math lovers rhapsodize about how math is its own world, imbued with beauty and creativity, but the barrier to entry is standardized tests and timed competitions. We award scholarships and school placements to students who thrive in competitive environments and under time pressures. So students are left thinking that the only criteria for being good at math is to be able to think like a calculator. Perhaps instead of prioritizing correctness, memorization, and speed, we should be emphasizing the importance of creativity, collaboration, and deliberate, inquisitive thinking. For the next generation of problem solvers, creativity isn't optional, it's a matter of survival. The quest for knowledge, progress, and revolution operates in an unceasing cycle, whether in the ballroom or the classroom. There will always be new questions to ask, new metaphors to discover, and new realities on the horizon. The usefulness of math is certainly important, but is only secondary to its main goal, which is the celebration of curiosity. That celebration is the driving force behind great math and great drag. Mathematicians and drag queens are artists who translate between the infinite and finite, imaginary and real, and random and fixed. Between those binaries, we find the thrill of discovery, the spark that dazzles the eye and ignites the soul.
Sorry.
So that is a little bit of math and drag. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can only read a little bit. I wish I could read the whole thing, but you guys can read the whole thing yourselves at home. We're selling some over there with book people. I've signed a bunch of copies. So thank you so much.
Y'all keep it going for kind. I know I will be purchasing one of those books, okay? Y'all support math and drag. Yes. Okay, y'all, so that is about it, except we do have one more last performance for everybody. Is that okay? Yeah! All right, but for this, I want to go ahead and introduce all of our entertainers back to the stage. Y'all want to see them one more time? Y'all make some noise for Didi Camacho. She's running to the stage. She's running. She's running. Come on up here, girl. Y'all keep it going for Didi Camacho. Keep it going for Cholula Lemon. And Lady Sugar. Is she around here? Keep it going for Violet Ward. There's Lady Sugar. Okay, we have a costume change. Look how gorgeous you look. Make some noise for Lady Sugar. Keep it going for Violet Ward. Sorry, Violet, didn't mean to skip over you like that. Also, keep it going for Kind. And I'd love to introduce it to our stage, the Weird City Sisters. Come on up. Yes. Also, make some noise for me, Bridget Bandit, your hostess. Y'all, I want to thank y'all so much for being here and supporting our event today. It really means so much with everything that we saw outside and right now with the state of things in Texas. I hope y'all can continue to support your local drag entertainers no matter what, okay? And make sure that you go out and vote and make your voice heard, okay? Because it is time for Texas to be represented by the actual Texans and our actual community, okay? And it was very clear today that their community is very much smaller than us, and we have a lot of power, okay? And we're very strong when we stand together and we support each other in community. So to everybody who came out to stand in front, to everybody who came to be inside, all the kids, thank y'all so much for coming here, the families, the parents, thank y'all so much, honestly. We're gonna go ahead and close. Oh, also make some noise for Jonathan and Regan with Drag Story Hour, please. I'm sorry, y'all come up here, come up here. These are the people who made this event happen. So y'all make some noise. Make some noise for them, please. And also make some noise for Cheer Up Charlie's for standing with the queer community, being a queer-owned space, and, you know, not canceling our show just because 5 people were outside with signs, okay? So thank you, Cheer Up Charlie's. And make some noise for yourselves one more time, please. We're gonna go ahead and close out with a song together. So everybody on your feet and let's have some fun. Oh, everybody on your feet. We got it. There we go. Let's have some fun. Uh-oh.
Just like birds of a feather. hope we have for the future and all those inside. We know we don't get depressed. Here's what we call all the difference. Have faith in you and the things you do. You won't go wrong. Oh no, this is a family jewel. We are family here. Sing it together. Our sisters and me. Sing it to me. I can hear you now. Everybody say,
Soul Train.
Thanks, y'all. See y'all later. If y'all are out tonight, come support my open drag night called BTBD. If you want to know what the acronym stands for, you have to come back later, okay? It's from 7 to 10. I'll see y'all. Bye.
Lizzardo was here today. Oh, you're just gonna be hard to film, aren't you? Nobody's gonna eat that.
I feel like I should have